Hi everyone, welcome to Her Sanctuary. It's a gorgeous spring day out here today. The sun is shining and we are ready to talk about what Her Sanctuary is doing and our guest that we have today sitting with us. So just a little bit about Her Sanctuary. Her Sanctuary is a co-working space. It's a place where we do all sorts of workshops, we do events, we do Meet the Makers, and it's a place where women can gather and share their story. So today, on this gorgeous day, we have Maria Pascucci, and I hope I'm saying that right.
You got it.
Maria is a life coach, she's a nutrition coach, she's a inspirational speaker, she's an author, and one of her newest endeavors that she's doing is she is going to be using the space here in Her Sanctuary to do what she calls some rebounding. So welcome to the couch, and thank you for sitting here with me. And why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? What's your story?
Yeah, sure. I mean, thank you so much for having me here. I'm so excited that I'm going to be doing some collaborative work with Her Sanctuary. I love what you guys stand for. Yeah, a little bit about myself and my story. So I grew up in Western New York. I've lived in the Buffalo area my entire life. I'm a Canisius College graduate. And I started my first business when I was in my 20s, and it's called Campus Calm, like calm down.
Oh,
and yeah,
that's cool.
Thank you. That business was all about helping high achieving, stressed out, recovering perfectionist students to let go of that pressure to be perfect, so they can lead with confidence and resilience, and that they're more than the measure of their grade point average. So I started off that business based on the power of personal experience, because I am a recovering perfectionist and former, as I like to say, highly sensitive stressaholic. And so I started that business, and I got out there and I started speaking on college campuses across the country at leadership conferences, primarily women's leadership conferences. And I wrote a book in the college market. It's called Campus Calm University. And as I was out there traveling the country and connecting with other students and parents and educators, one of the things that people didn't know about was that I was simultaneously, I was battling a lot of health challenges. And so I was diagnosed when I was 26 years old with endometriosis, and that's a painful chronic disease that affects, I think it's approximately 176 million women and girls worldwide. Wow. Yeah. So that was challenging at times. Like, if I'm getting like really real and real honest, a college would contact me and say, hey, we want you to keynote our women's leadership conference, and I would check my calendar, and my period would be due. And when you have endometriosis, sometimes you are doubled over in pain for days. And I was like, oh my God, how am I going to do this? But I made it work, but I was always pushing myself, and it was always a struggle. And as I was going through that, and then I had a lot of food allergies, a lot of chemical sensitivity issues, and my immune system was really, I'm not going to use the word shot because that's dramatic, but it was
compromised.
It was compromised. I needed some help. So as I was doing that business, I really started focusing inward, started looking at self-care, and started researching what was going to help me to allow myself to carry out my mission on this planet and have the energy to do it, have the physical energy to do it. So then I started visiting a naturopathic physician. She specializes in natural medicine. I changed my diet. I learned about nutrition. I learned about just the power of mindset and gratitude and meditation and prayer and positive attitude and all of those things. And I was really looking to best support myself so that I could be there for my family and my friends and all of the people that I was connecting with, and I was leading and I was serving. So that led me to starting to get out there, and besides just speaking in the college market, that led me to getting a life coach certification and then a nutrition coach certification. And
wow, you were busy.
yeah, I was busy. But to answer your question of rebounding, like how does this go? How does this go into rebounding? Which, if anybody doesn't know, rebounding is essentially jumping on a mini trampoline, and it can be mini trampoline aerobics.
Well, let's back up for
Yeah,
one second, because what I really want to say too is how important, like, you realized that you really needed to take care of yourself, and you did that, and I think that that's really great when you're ready to help other people. If you can't, if you're not feeling good yourself.
Absolutely.
So that's awesome that you recognized that and you stepped into what you needed to do to take charge of your own life. So that's great.
Thank you. I mean, I think as women, a lot of times we're taught that it's socially acceptable, and it's actually glorified to stretch ourselves, spread ourselves so thin, take care of everybody else, and then we're depleted at the end of the day. And we find value in that, and a lot of women, we like to be liked, and we like to have other people say, oh my God, you're so wonderful, look at all these things that you do for other people, which is great. I'm not saying don't do things for other people, but oftentimes it comes at the expense of our own self-care, and then when we're not in a good place physically, mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, we cannot effectively serve other people, help other people.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's great. So okay, so the rebounding. So where does that come into play?
Yeah, it's so funny. So when I was studying to become a nutrition coach, and that was back in 2014, I first learned about the benefits of rebounding in my class and how it's excellent at moving and supporting your lymphatic system. And for me, when I have a history of autoimmune health issues, I was really drawn toward that. And I learned that rebounding is excellent for many different things, improving balance, improving your cardiovascular health.
I mean, I know myself. I've been doing it. I mean, I got myself a little mini trampoline. I didn't know that was what it was exactly called, but my naturopath told me to do it every morning to help with your bone density. Absolutely. Because I have some osteoporosis, so it helps. It helps increase your bone density, strengthen your bones and your muscles, and actually help your whole skeletal system, as I'm to understand.
Yes, absolutely. And I also read and learned about in that program that it's excellent at burning fat, reducing cellulite, all of those things. But the most important thing that I was drawn to, besides the lymphatic system cleansing, was how it's so you can perform high intensity aerobic exercise, and because you're essentially on a mini trampoline, and depending on what kind of trampoline you have, if it's like high super elastic bungee bands, that it's so low impact on the body that you're not in pain. So, and that's one of the things when I first started rebounding, that's one of the things that I noticed right away. Before I started rebounding, I would go to the gym, take an aerobics class. I had aerobics DVDs that I did all the time at home, and I was always in pain the next day.
Right, and I mean, really, we're not supposed to go away feeling like you're in pain, because then when that happens, you're like, am I going to do this again tomorrow? Probably not.
Right. But I think that that's part of the issue, is that we've been raised in a society that's all, no pain, no gain. So if you're not in pain, you're almost thinking, well, then I'm not working hard enough.
Right.
But that's actually not true, and that there's actually another way. There's another way of looking at exercise, and there's another way of looking at life. In my 20s and early 30s, it was like, pushing and striving, and now it's just more of, you know what, I really want to have fun, and I want to connect with my community, and I want to be easier and gentler on the body, mind, spirit, the whole thing. Right,
and finding a balance, of all of that together is really, really important. And plus, I feel like it reminds me of my childhood. When we were in high school, grade school, we'd be jumping on the trampoline, and it brings back such great memories. So that's really a good endorphin to get released and feel good about.
Unexpected joys and benefits of rebounding that came for me when I started doing it was how much fun it was, and how it, like you said, it reconnects you to your inner child. And rebounding has become probably amongst the most joyful, fun moments of my day now, and I love it. Like exercise, when I view exercise
system. I think that's really key too. I think everybody could use that. You know, our lymphatic system gets sluggish, and it's a great way in the morning. That's when I do it. I get on in the morning, and it's not. Sometimes it's if I have it's 10 minutes, you know, and it's just jump starting that lymphatic system, help getting rid of all the toxins, get your body moving and everything, and it really is a nice way to start your day.
Right, absolutely. And the more times that you do it throughout the day, that's great. And it doesn't have to be. Unlike other forms of aerobic exercise where it's like pound the pavement for an hour and take a class, this is something where the more you don't have to overextend your body and overwork it to get a great workout.
Like, so you could do it a couple times a day? Like
yeah,
that's what I was reading. So you could do it again in the evening for like maybe 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm. I mean, like me personally, I have 2 segments that I usually do that are about, I don't know, maybe about 18 minutes a piece. So I'll maybe do 1 in the morning, 1 in the evening, and then sometimes if I just, hop on my rebounder and do it for a couple minutes while I'm watching a television show or something like that. So it doesn't have to be this like crazy thing. And a lot of the research that's coming out is showing that it's more efficient at burning fat than running, but it's better cardiovascularly on the body when you're doing rebounding, and it doesn't have to be this crazy high intensity stuff either to get the benefits.
So we are so lucky that we're going to have this here in her sanctuary. So tell us a little bit about the event that's coming up and what you plan to create in this space.
Yeah, absolutely. So there's going to be a free, like an open house event on April 6th here at her sanctuary. It's from 1 to 3 in the afternoon. And I just invite you to come in, and I'll be here on site with some rebounders that you can try out.
I see you brought one too today.
I did.
We can take a little look at what this actually looks like. It's like, oh my gosh, this is a perfect day today. I want to go out and jump on it outside. Look how this is so cool.
Yeah, and I just want to say up front too, for anybody who's a little concerned, thinking, oh my God, I want to try that out, but I'm going to fall. Don't worry about it. The ones that I have that I'm going to have on site and that I'm also going to have for the classes, they have a T-bar, so it's a support bar that you can hold on to.
Great.
Yeah, so there's no worries about any sort of balance issues. And rebounding, the more you do it, it actually increases your balance.
Yeah, that's
something that's wonderful. But this one is it's a Bellicon rebounder, and that's what I'm certified in. I'm a certified Bellicon rebounding instructor. Bellicon is one of the top-of-line rebounders on the market. It was actually just endorsed this week officially by the American Chiropractic Association.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
that's
and
fantastic.
it is actually the first piece of fitness equipment on the market that the American Chiropractic Association has endorsed.
Wow.
So they're really wholeheartedly embracing this.
Well, that's fantastic. Too, is for me, I can say, there's 2 things. Being a breast cancer survivor, I'm always wanting to make sure that my lymphatic system is working and moving and keeping everything flowing and getting rid of toxins, and then also having the osteoporosis, so really increasing that bone density. So how awesome is that, that you can really target those 2 specific things.
Yes, absolutely. It is. It's so important. One of the things that's great about the Bellicon rebounders too, I will have 2 different rebounders with 2 different, they're called bungee band strengths. Mm-hmm. So these, here, if you can see them, they use bungee technology, which was really great because it makes for a quiet bounce. Some of the other rebounders on the market, they use metal springs. When you're jumping, it's super loud and it can be really annoying to people
Yeah, can you
around
imagine if we have 12 people in here and
Right.
everyone's like bouncing?
Right, exactly. So these are virtually silent, and they come in different bungee band strengths.
Okay.
So this, the band that I have here, it's called an extra strong band, and then I will also have strong band strengths on site. So depending on what kind of bounce you want a softer bounce or if you want a harder bounce, and it also depends on the weight limits. There will essentially be a variety of options that you can choose from.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So you basically get on and everyone else follows what you do and you have the music going.
Yeah.
And sounds like a good time, that's
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah,
Is
it's
there
really exciting.
is there a favorite song you like to play that really gets you moving or is nostalgic or reminds you of?
Gosh, there's so many. I just downloaded the other day on YouTube. Gloria Estefan. She has the Turn the Beat Around.
Oh.
She has this remake.
That's a great
She has
song.
a remake of it, and it's like 7.5 minutes long. So you do that, and I mean that's a fast song, and I'm
Yeah.
finished with that, and I'm like, woo! You feel like you just did like a half-hour workout.
Wow.
It's so fun.
Yeah, that's an oldie
Yeah.
but a goodie. Wow.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I mean, I can do rebounding to a variety of songs, and depending on what people like too. I can have theme nights, I can do 80s parties, I can do 90s parties, I can do disco, I can do
Very cool.
hip hop, all kinds of fun stuff.
So when do you think, so we're having the open house, so people can come in, they can meet you, they can talk to you, they can learn about it, they can see the Rebounders on April 6th,
Yes.
which is a Saturday, and it's going to be 1 to 3,
Yes.
and then we're going to try to start classes soon after that.
Yeah, we're looking at dates right now. Is you know, we're talking like probably I would assume by now like mid to late April, and then going into May, and we'll be starting classes.
Sounds fantastic. Let's see. Is there any other things that we can think about that we want to share with our Facebook community here?
Oh, geez.
How about getting back to a little bit about your story? Tell me one thing that really inspires you, person or something.
One thing that inspires me. Yeah, you know, it's funny, I never thought that I would say this, but it just popped into my head. Western New York inspires me. And the reason why, it sounds like such a Miss America answer, but
No, I like it.
And
it pops into your head.
And it did. But I grew up in Buffalo, I grew up in Western New York my whole life, and my husband and I moved away for 2 years, and we left Western New York for 2 years. We were in Florida, and I loved Florida, and it was great. But I missed home, and I think it takes moving away from home to realize, you know, home is where the heart is. The cliche, but it was true. Like I really missed my community, and I wanted to come home. And I knew that when my husband and I moved back to Buffalo, that I wanted to do something that was community based. You know, I've been running online businesses for, probably 12 years now. And while I love that, I really miss that face-to-face connection, and I really want to do something just in my community locally and get out there and really start connecting with people and use my skills to make a difference locally. So I was really happy that I'm back home.
We are lucky to have you here. We are lucky to have you here. And how about if someone were to ask you 3 things about yourself that are your strengths? What are 3
What are my
things?
strengths?
Yeah.
I would say empathy is my number one strength. I'm a highly sensitive person. If anybody knows what that is, if you look it up, Dr. Elaine Aron, A-R-O-N, she has extraordinary research about highly sensitive people, and you can take a quiz to see how sensitive you are, but a lot of times people think sensitivity is a weakness. You know, you're a crybaby, you're a drama queen, stop being such a girl, why do you take everything so personally, lighten up. That's all of the stereotypical things out there when people think about being sensitive. But for me, being sensitive is being highly empathic, in tune with other people, being able to connect with them quickly in a deep, powerful way. You know, being very passionate. So I think that that's something that's a really big leadership asset, and that's actually something that I've coached other women and men to embrace their sensitivity and see it and show up in their lives and their careers, using it as the strong asset and leadership strength that it is.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, sensitivity. I think I'm a highly intuitive person, so I can, whether it's speaking on a college campus or whether it's getting on a rebounder, I can just kind of zero in on where I think people are and what I think they need and just meet them where they're at and create a great experience.
I mean, how great is that?
Yeah.
I mean, that's really a great thing to have because, I mean, everybody's not at the same place, and to be able to recognize that and work with people, it also takes the anxiety level down because a lot of times I think people are like, oh, I can't do that or I don't want to do that, but if you meet them where they're at, how beautiful is that?
Yeah, exactly. So during a class, everybody will be at different stages of their life, different physical fitness capabilities, and that's okay. Like you can trust your body. You can do modified versions of a move. So what I mean is you can be comfortable and confident in a class no matter who you are.
That sounds great. Yeah, so, it's even like when you're doing yoga, you're supposed to just be concentrated on your mat, what you're doing and what works for you and listening to your body. So that's good on here too. You're not gonna, if you can't do what everybody else is doing, you're gonna do what works for you. Because once again, you said you don't wanna walk away being in pain and not feeling good. You want it to be like a good experience.
Right, exactly.
So where can people find you besides here at her sanctuary?
Yeah,
Do you have a website for us?
I do. So my website it's my name. It's Maria Pascucci, PASCUCCI.com, and that right now is there's a lot of information about my life and nutrition coaching, and then I'm adding on the rebounding, and that's going to be coming on the website probably within the next week. So you can find me there.
What too is when you look at things mentally, spiritually, and physically, that's great. You have all the components, so you're going to feed your mind all sorts of good things. Now you have the nutrition component, and then physically you're going to do things to help your body.
Yes.
So I think you got the whole package, girl.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you for coming to her sanctuary. Thank you for sharing your gifts with us, and we are really looking forward to having you in our space.
Thank you. I'm so looking forward to this too.
Awesome.